We might well wonder whether a rundown school for blind children in an obscure location at the heart of a slum in Africa would have anything unique to tell us. In all the slums of the developing world, there are countless such schools. For the disabled, the orphaned, the needy, so many that they may have saturated and dulled all traces of empathy within us. And yet, it is in precisely such a school that today we encounter the compelling story we are about to tell. Welcome to Likoni School for the Blind, a Salvation Army-sponsored facility established in 1965. It currently houses 180 children. Over the years, the lack of adequate funding has helped inevitable wear and tear to run down the school's infrastructure and facilities. Previously headquarters to Kenya's pre-independence Royal Navy, this is hardly the appropriate facility for children with special needs, given the Spartan character of military barracks. Of course, you will not find it on any maps of the world, though it sits right there next to the sea. It overlooks the Likoni Channel, gateway to historical Kilindini Harbour, modern-day Kenya's main port facility. It is only appropriate that the facility undergoes a complete makeover to bring it up to the standards of the modern age. This was the conclusion arrived at by the Building of Hope volunteers when they visited this school 2 years ago. The plight of the children touched their hearts, and they decided that they had to do something about it.
I remember the first day we came here, in the very first week in 2010, and all the men came down here. Particularly the men, I thought, were very upset, very distressed at the conditions the children were sleeping in and living in. And we had no trouble asking them to come here again.
And there was another project suggested. Olive, who was the organiser, was thinking of something else and had it in mind. But the participants themselves said, no, we want to do this for those children. We can't sleep at night thinking about those children. They just followed us back to Ireland, their faces, their images, their beautiful singing, and the terrible conditions that they're living in. None of us could live with that. We wanted to come back and do this for them.
This is the gist of our story today. 14th January 2012. The first group of volunteers has arrived to both excitement and a sense of déjà vu. It is happening again. They are welcomed by an enthusiastic crowd that includes a band of musicians. The children break into song as they welcome the visitors. It must be sweet nostalgia for the returnees to once again hear the hauntingly beautiful tunes.
I remember when you came to me by night. Yeah, I used to wander my own way, but nothing worked out right. Till the day I finally surrendered, Jesus came into my heart. No, I won't be.
I'd like to pay special tribute to all who have come. I know this has been a very hard time. In Ireland, many other countries as well, but the fact that you've made such sacrifices, I think it's wonderful. And those who are here before, I think many of you are here before, I know for some of you it's the first time in Africa, so those for whom it's the first time in Africa, welcome to Africa, and you couldn't have chosen a better place. and I'm sure you'll never ever forget it.
After the welcoming ceremony, everybody troops off to the site where Father Martin lays the cornerstone, signifying the official start of the project.
It'll be here to you all your memories of the Lord who will lay the foundation stone in our name.
Are you ready? Jesus is coming back again. The Holy Bible tells us.
It is the beginning of the end of a journey of hope that begins as an idea, solidifies into a foundation, and is now the stockpile of construction materials littering the chosen site, awaiting a gift of the labor of love to transform the idea into a home. It is said that the early bird catches the worm. The volunteers are at the site by dawn. Before long, the block laying is progressing at a fast pace. To become a volunteer takes commitment and courage. One must first raise a minimum of 3,000 euros. Part of the money caters for air tickets, accommodation and upkeep, and the rest goes into buying construction material. The volunteers then travel to the project site, roll up their sleeves and provide the labor themselves. Local labor only comes as a supplement. It is a race against time, as the Irish lads and lasses are joined by the local hands to see to it that this project sticks to schedule.
In overall, we have 1,550 square metres, which is approximately 17,000 square feet. And it's actually divided into 4 units. Now, this building, compared to the last building which we built in 2010 in the Polytechnic was 12,000 square feet. So this building is approximately nearly 35% larger than the other ones we built, but the amount of work is about double, because in the Polytechnic it was all open lecture rooms, whereas here in this building all the rooms are divided into small cubicles for children. The cubicles are, and each cubicle, there's 4 cubicles to a dormitory, and there's 4 dormitories then to the boys section, 4 dormitories to the girls section, and there's about 10 dormitories, or 10 rooms in the special unit, together with offices, low vision room, medical room, manager's office, and storage facilities and linen facilities. Then the 4th block is a block for the canteen and living room, and the children will be able to have their lunches here, and in the evening part of the room will be used as a living room, where there will be a television, easy chairs where they can sit down, play games, relax, set in a beautiful setting overlooking the bay and out onto the estuary in Mombasa, out onto the sea.
The mood at the site is easygoing and friendly. The purpose for which they labor makes the hard work and the challenges worthwhile.
So far so good. This is our 4th day on site. No major problems with the extreme heat, and this is an opportunity. The Building of Hope, what's appealing about the Building of Hope project is that any efforts made by my sponsors back in Ireland, they can see that it hits the target. There's no middleman, nobody's on salary. We're all here at our own expense, thanks to the people who helped, who made it possible for me to come here. Thanks for their help.
In the makeshift kitchen, the catering crew is busy all morning.
We make scones every morning for all the hard workers, and as you can see, we're making their lunch now. And then when all that's done, my favourite part of the day is going out to feed the children, and we bring them some balloons and lollipops, and we give them a few little kisses and hugs.
It is very hard to see the little ones, and just looking forward to Countdown and what they're going to have in another few weeks' time, a new home.
I've been very, very blessed with a good life. I realise that more so now since being here. And at home we complain an awful lot about not having enough. And it takes coming out here to realise how blessed we are.
With the clock ticking, the team proceeds with gusto on the task of laying the blocks. Three giant concrete mixers roaring full blast guarantee a steady supply of mortar. Extra hands are always welcome. And this volunteering Frenchman is quickly assigned a piece of the work with the block laying crew.
I met Olive yesterday, and she didn't know my experience, she didn't know my job, she didn't know who I am. I'm very dangerous and a bad boy. And she said, I just need hands. So I came with my hands.
21st January 2012 is the last working day for Group 1. As they prepare to travel back to Ireland, they can be proud to have exceeded expectations. They will pass the baton to Group 2 with their heads held high. Bravo Group 1 for a job well done and for setting the pace.
When I came first, I was quite shocked at the size of the building. Quite shocked. But after, was it 6 days, I think all the blocks were up to roof level. So that is saying a lot. That's 36,000 blocks up in 6-7 days.
So much is going on simultaneously and it is difficult to follow it up. The roofing frames are fast getting fitted. Erecting roofing frames is a delicate task, but thanks to the nail gun, the task is made a lot easier. Fisher boards are equally painted fast by a team of dedicated ladies, coordinated to end at the appropriate time. Before long, roofing sheets are being fitted just as carpenters finish erecting the frames. Everything seems to be moving at the same time. As the ceiling boards are fixed in place, the walkway crew are keeping the pace as well. Before the ceiling goes up, the electricians have been there laying the conduits through which electrical cables and wires will pass. The floor plastering is also in top gear, with this crew firmly on top of things, assisted of course by the sweeping detail who ensure the floors are cleared of debris before the plasterers begin their work. Measurements are taken to spot where the support poles will stand.
Yeah, we just put it there.
The water crew is always somewhere near because thirst and dehydration set in quickly. The dam roof looks impressive. The volunteers have also taken time off to visit nearby villages to get the feel of their life.
I like the people because of their friendly nature. You know, they're very open. You know, and in the house we visited, people invited us in. They had no hesitation of asking us to come in and told us about their personal lives. You know, which is it's not everybody will do that to you. You know, that's usually something people reserve between their families. You know, but to tell a stranger things about your personal life is it's a very genuine thing. But that's my impression of it. You know.
The volunteers have several times visited the Polytechnic, pulled by the cord that was established when they built it 2 years ago. Holy Ghost Fathers Technology Center is a new official name given to the center that now offers certificate and diploma courses.
We are training various courses, that's hairdressing and beauty therapy, tailoring and dressmaking. We also have ICT in relation to certificate and diplomas, and we also have block courses. In addition to that, we train all our students in entrepreneurship. So we give entrepreneurship, development and communication. Of course, we know that the communication is the success of any given organization or any given company or entity as we continue interacting with other individuals or other organizations. So entrepreneurship is a subject that is geared towards enabling our students to be self-reliant after they complete their course.
Today they are in time to join the kindergarten children for lunch in the modern dining hall. It is emotionally overwhelming for those who were here 2 years ago. As Group 2 prepares to depart, the compound is beginning to take on an organized look.
I've been here for the past 2 weeks and it's been the best 2 weeks of my life, and I mean that.
And I'm sure when they move into their new home they will be happier even than they are now.
I heard word of mouth and then I said I have to get on that project and I'll be back. I'll be back.
I originally thought, I never thought I would make it here.
It's a very levelling experience, whether you're old or young or poor or rich, it makes no difference out here, everyone's out to help.
The arrival of Group 3 heralds the beginning of the tiling. Troops are immediately marshalled to move the tiles from store to the site. All available hands are mobilized, and there are thousands of tiles waiting to be moved. This is the welcome accorded to the group.
In this group we have lawyers from law, we have farmers, we have painters, we have masons, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, doctors, we have nurses, we have social workers, we have people from working in the prison in Ireland. And they've come here because they want to do some good. It's a wonderful experience, and I want to thank all of them who sponsored the people who came here and who sponsored materials and clothes and equipment. Thank them very much. It has really made a difference here.
It's indescribable. It's indescribable. It's just such an amazing feeling of satisfaction to be part of this. My own personal part is so tiny because I'm just looking after press releases and, you know, dealing with the media and things like that and getting publicity for the cause and for the school, obviously. But it's just an indescribable feeling of elation. And everyone is so happy on the team. They are just delighted to be here and so satisfied with the fact that we've actually done this and it's becoming a reality.
Stills. Almost thought it was Bionic Man invasion, but it turns out to be innovation at its best. No need for ladders.
And there's fantastic work going on, and isn't there?
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic
The
work.
volunteers are absolutely
They're
brilliant.
fantastic.
There's the most beautiful young gentlemen here and ladies, and not so young as well, from all over Ireland. And they're a credit. There's some young boys here, especially in their 20s, early 30s, and I have to say they're a credit to their parents. They're such gentlemen. It's a pleasure, isn't it, Mary?
It is.
They're so
the
polite.
motivation
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
interest and the appetite for work and teamwork,
Yeah,
everything fabulous, isn't it? Yeah.
Now we also have a group of gentlemen from Cork, but I don't think we won't mention them. We'll just mention that we have a group of gentlemen from Cork.
That's it.
Yeah, they will know themselves.
And my lapstone keeps baiting away. No, my wife, she is humpy, she's lumpy. Me wife, she's the devil, she's cracked. And no matter what I may do with her.
Oh, rain. For the first time since they arrived, it is raining. Not much rain, but rain all the same. Then, as abruptly as it started, it stops.
To be a volunteer for this, you don't need to have any skill. You need to be willing to work. You need to be willing to maybe clean or bring water around to the people who are tradesmen. There are many jobs here for people.
With me robo randy, and me lapstone keeps baiting away.
On behalf of the Salvation Army, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you here at Likoni School for the Blind.
It takes courage, and you took courage simply because of these children. You started an idea for us that we may move to the new buildings. It was an idea, and then it came to a foundation. Then we saw the walls made. Then we saw the roofs made. Then the houses became complete. But we were told there is the last group that will come to do the finis, to do the final touch. Believe me, we are longing for the final touch.
Group 4 have come with a purpose: complete the project, made up of painters, tilers, plumbers, landscapers, electricians. Their call is to finish the job.
So getting people on board to come wasn't too difficult, but the fundraising at home was extremely difficult, much harder than previous years. But we got there, and we have 191 or 92 volunteers. So it's been a tremendous success, and I think particularly this group have to work very hard now to complete, but I think it will be complete.
In the beginning, didn't want to say it to the volunteers, but when I came out to lay out the foundations in October, I said to myself, oh my God, this is huge. And when I came back out in January to start the project, I nearly collapsed at the size of it and the amount of blocks that had to be laid, but I said nothing. And each of the 4 groups in turn really rose to the occasion, and they did more than they were expected to do in each group. And subsequently, the building is finished, a building of 17,000 square feet approximately, which is going to house up to 300 children in a state-of-the-art building, finished to the state-of-the-art, and I hope they'll be very happy in it and that they will mind it and take care of it.
There's a lot of excitement in the school because it was like a dream come true. When we were told that within 100 days we shall have a new home for the children, a new residential place for the children, it didn't appear true. But when the first group came, we saw their pace. And the second group, we started believing. When the third group came, then we realized that it is a dream that would come through.
Ninasimamia watu wengi sana na waamuru, lakini Bwana sema neno moja. Ninasimamia.
So basically, it's my job just to go around and make sure that everyone's getting everything done to a good professional standard. So we start off, and I'm going from room to room now with a light bulb, just making sure that we can't see any shadows in the paint or the ceilings are good, and so it's kind of finish time now, you know. So.
We're just at this stage now about finishing the buildings, and as you can see as you go along, everybody is painting, cleaning, finishing the tiling, starting to clean the floors and everything, and the finish is similar to a finish that you would get in Europe. We want to give these children something that they can look up to. There's no point in giving them a finish that would be equivalent to the finish they could get in Kenya. It'll give them something to look up to and strive towards afterwards, if and when they get out and get to secondary school and get to a third level school.
I can't wait to get home and tell my friends the experience. I've been on the phone to them, and you just can't explain what it's like. But I think that everyone needs to experience something like this to realise how lucky we have it at home, and I don't think I'll ever complain again, ever.
So technically, this building. The volunteers arrived here, they arrived, they're away 9 nights from Ireland, so they're working 7 days. So actually this building has been built in 28 working days in groups of 50 volunteers. So it's an incredible feat to have done this.
Hard work, you know, but it's, when you see the finished product, what has happened in 40 days, it was worthwhile, very, very worthwhile doing it. Got a lot of pleasure from it, even though a lot of, you know, sweat and everything, but it's worthwhile, it's worth it.
It's very emotional.
That's fine.
When you look around and see the project, we've been here 4 weeks now. And it was a building site when we came to it. And today is the last day. And we look around and we see the finish. It's really unbelievable.
Well, you know, when we walked into the buildings here in April, they were dark, dank, a very oppressive atmosphere.
Punitive.
Yeah, punitive. And I think when the children, when they move into bright buildings with good lighting, good contrast that we've seen around the windows and the door frames, it'll make their life far easier.
So, you know, you're talking here about children who have lived in very difficult conditions, staff who have probably expected very little in terms of what might occur, what the development might be. So it's been spectacular for them too, and I think inevitably you're seeing their reaction to it. And there's an absolute utter joy around the place that this is going to be theirs, you know.
Actually, they have touched our hearts. They have made us imagine that somebody can change your world if somebody has intended to.
I just want to appreciate the good work they've done, using their own hands, using their own money. They came from that far. It is rare. I've never seen it. I'm only seeing it with people from Ireland.
It is a great day as the beds and mattresses are moved to the boys' new dormitories. The excitement is palpable.
You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. For what are your possessions but things you keep and guard for fear you may need them tomorrow? And what is fear of need but need itself? Is not dread of thirst when your well is full the thirst that is unquenchable? There are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desire makes their gifts unwholesome. And there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life and the bounty of life, and their coffer is never empty. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward.
Today is the day we have all been waiting for. After 28 working days, the building is at last complete. Bishop Willie Walsh will bless it before the Building of Hope team hands over the keys to the school administration.
going to pray a very simple blessing on the new building, and just a simple prayer for all who have been involved. Just with begin in our own language, and Anamanahar, Agus and Vic, Agus and Spirit name, Amen. I thought it was appropriate for this because this water is sacred. So I pray, Kumani Deal, a Koktuk Shiv, Ahar Mak, Agus Spirit name.
Sauti ya mtu iliyonikani, tengenezeni njia yake Bwana. Sauti ya mtu iliyonikani, tengenezeni njia yake Bwana. Huyo ni Yohana aliyenikani, huyo ni Yohana aliyehubiri. Huyo ni Yohana
a hand, a door, a tree.
The icing on the cake comes when the little girls move to their new home. Words will never describe it. The emotions that flow, the elation on the girls' faces, and the squeals of laughter as they bounce on their new beds. Olive sums it up very well.
I just can't, I cannot say how much of a difference the euro that you have donated has made here in Mombasa in Kenya. And I especially thank all the volunteers. The volunteers have made this possible, and they worked so hard every day. I just wanted to say that this is magic. It's a magic place to be in, and to see the difference that everybody has made to the children since last December to today. It's just a magic story, and it's the happy ending, and they all lived happily ever after.
The Building of Hope team must be congratulated for this achievement. The planning and the organization cannot be faulted. It may not be enough to get something done. The mark is to get it done right. It may not be enough to get it done right. The test is to get it done consistently right all the time it's done. The Building of Hope family have done well because they have done it again and again. They have done it right. The blind children remain with an image of the volunteers in their hearts, an image they might fail to find the right words to describe, but it is nevertheless an image they will always treasure. And it will be as the sage said it a long time ago, within every heart there lies a secret treasure. This treasure they will take with them to their graves.
Yesu akupenda katika safari. Yesu akupenda katika safari. Tazama safari ya wana wa Israeli ilikuwa ngumu. jamani, aliweza kuwaongoza. Tazama safari ya wana wa Israeli, ilikuwa ngumu sana mle jangwani, lakini Mungu ni Mungu wa kweli jamani, aliweza kuwaongoza. Ukishikwa na shida ndugu, mlilie Yesu, yeye ndiye kiongozi katika safari. Ukishikwa na shida ndugu, mlilie Yesu, yeye ndiye kiongozi katika safari. Tazama safari ya wana wa Israeli, ilikuwa ngumu sana mle jangwani, lakini Mungu ni Mungu wa kweli jamani, aliweza kuwaongoza. Tazama safari ya wana wa Israeli, ilikuwa ngumu sana mle jangwani, lakini Mungu ni Mungu wa kweli jamani, aliweza kuwaongoza. Bado kitambo kidogo, Yesu atarudi, wateule wakapumzike. Bado kitambo kidogo, Yesu atarudi.